for our granddaughters, our daughters, or anyone who can get pregnant. We are all at risk. We are here today because we are facing the greatest threat to women's lives, to our freedom, to our future since last summer when the completely illegitimate Supreme Court overturned Roe and declared women to be second-class citizens in this country. And I don't mean just the millions who are already suffering in forced birth states, where they are denied abortion care and have been for 9 months now, and even humane medical treatment when they suffer miscarriages. Now, that same Supreme Court, dominated by Christian fascist ideologues, will decide whether to take away the primary drug used in medication abortion. Medication abortions, proven 99% safe and more safe than Viagra or Tylenol, and 99% effective. That's science. It's relied upon by women and girls and people who are pregnant and don't want to and can't be pregnant around the country and around the world. This is not about protecting women's safety, as a Trump-appointed judge, I can't remember his name, Kaczmarek said. The FDA based its approval more than 20 years ago on science. These fascists in black robes are anti-science bigots. This is not about the babies. These same Christian fascists are forcing young girls to carry their rapist babies to term. They are abolishing laws that restrict child marriage and child labor. And Idaho just created a new crime called abortion trafficking. That means helping a minor to cross state lines to obtain an abortion. That's now a felony punishable by 5 years in prison in Idaho. And you know it's going to happen in state after state. And it's certainly not about letting each state decide, which is what Alito claimed in the Dobbs decision. Revoking approval of mifepristone would be a major step toward banning abortion nationwide. That's the fact. The Fifth Circuit, the appeals court here, already upheld that nutcase Kaczmarek's order that said mailing anything involved with abortions, not only the pills, mailing anything through the U.S. Postal Service would be illegal. A violation of the Comstock Act, which probably nobody's heard about because it hasn't been enforced in decades. It's a law, an anti-obscenity law dating from the 1870s. No, this is all about female enslavement and whether women are going to be treated as full human beings or not. This is about whether we're going to be able to control our lives, our bodies, our destinies, or whether we're going to be reduced to baby-making machines. And that is already happening. Women in Texas and Louisiana and a dozen other states are forced to carry unviable fetuses until they are at the point of death. Women are forced to endure painful bleeding and cramping because doctors are afraid that they will become felons for providing what has been standard care for a failed pregnancy. Abortion. In state after state, a woman's life is being put at risk or sacrificed for a clump of cells. Rise Up for Abortion Rights said in our founding statement, the violent subjugation of half of society must not be accommodated, excused, downplayed, or surrendered to. It must be stopped. And we are here today because we will stop it. When Roe fell, too many reproduction rights activists said, they may have the courts, but we have the pill. And they slammed Rise Up for Abortion Rights Because we said, no, we don't. And we used the coat hanger symbol and wore bloody pants. We were being called hysterical. But we knew that these fascists now have their hands on key levers of power, most especially the Supreme Court, and they will stop at nothing to reestablish violent patriarchy. And abolishing abortion is a key part of that. So here we are, with abortion medication on the chopping block, at the mercy of the same Supreme Court that took away our long-established right to abortion. This is lawlessness in the name of law and order. Now, what are we going to do? Do we just swallow our rage and go along with this? Do we pretend we can accommodate another kick in the gut? No. That's right. That we can make do with yet another workaround, like using misoprostol alone for abortions? No. Until they take that away from us? Do we allow yesterday's outrage to become today's new normal? No. 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 Or do we rise up and get inspired by what women in Iran and Latin America are doing? We flood the streets to protest and demand a stop to each and every outrage. We disrupt business as usual when that business is a subjugation of women. Act our rage. Walk out from school and work. We are building networks of resistance throughout the country, and we invite everyone who hears this to become part of them. Take the message of rising up for abortion rights to your school, your workplace, your neighborhood club, your congregation, wherever your people get together. Our Chicago chapter is meeting virtually Monday evening. Register. Bring your ideas and energy to this battle. The link is on every flyer here at the table on all of our social media platforms. You are here today on this beautiful Saturday afternoon because you know this is terribly wrong and frighteningly dangerous. Because you worry about the future for yourself, your children, your grandchildren, your nieces and nephews and neighbors. And you're right. You're right. A recent psychological survey, I just read about it yesterday, found an increase of 10% in depression among young women just since last summer when Roe fell. Accommodating this woman-hating program comes with a terrible price, and we are only just beginning to pay it. Rally with us today to stop the banning of abortion medication and demand legal abortion on demand and without apology nationwide everywhere. After this short rally, we will take to the streets of the Loop to show people that accommodation is not acceptable. It's not the only way, that we are building a movement and they are urgently needed to be part of it. And we demand nationwide, because if one of us is not free, none of us are free. And that we will not accept. Rise up for abortion rights. For abortion rights, rise up. Rise up for abortion rights. For abortion rights, rise up. Thank you. Next, we're going to